Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Hope so everyone is fine and good. Today is the last topic for class 6th from this chapter, and the name of the chapter is Things Around Us. Dear students, some of the characteristics that I have not discussed in the lecture. First, those characteristics which can differentiate between the living things and the non-living things. Today I am going to discuss those characteristics. First is excretion. What is excretion? The removal from organisms of toxic materials. The materials that are toxic materials, the removal of those toxic materials are the waste products of metabolism. The chemical reactions which takes place in the plant body, the chemical reactions which takes place in the animal body. From every and each chemical reaction, there is also the production of the waste products. This is also the production of such products which are waste for both plant body or animal body. As we know that in respiration, carbon dioxide is one of the waste product, so that there is necessary for the excretion of those waste products from the body. Excretion, the process of removing metabolic wastes. The process of removing metabolic wastes is called excretion. Without excretion, toxic wastes would continue to circulate throughout the body. Without excretion, if excretion does not take place, then those toxic wastes would continue to circulate throughout the body. What is metabolism? All chemical reactions that occurring in our body, whether they occurring in plant body, whether they occurring in animal body, that are known as metabolism. We know that in plants photosynthesis occurs, in plants respiration occurs. Both photosynthesis and respiration are chemical reactions. In photosynthesis, oxygen is the waste product for the plant body, and in respiration, carbon dioxide is a waste product for the plant body. So the excretion of those products, oxygen and carbon dioxide, is necessary for the plant body. Example, nitrogen wastes that are present in urine that have to be excreted, carbon dioxide from lungs. Oxygen is excreted from plants by the stomata. So, dear students, here we got that excretion is one of the process which takes place only in living things, and this process does not occur in non-living things. So one more difference between the living things and the non-living things is excretion occurs in living things and excretion does not occur in non-living things. Second is reproduction, the process that makes more of the same kind of organism. This reproduction is the process that makes more of the same kind of organism. A life function that provides new living things. This reproduction is a life function that provides new living things to take place of those old ones that die. This is the life function which provides new living things to take place of those old ones that die. It provides continuation of species. By the process of reproduction, the continuation of species occurs. So this is one more function, or we can say one more process, reproduction, that occurs only in living things and it does not take place in living things. So one more difference between the living things and the non-living things is that reproduction that occurs only in living things, and this reproduction does not occur in non-living things. Growth. What is growth? A permanent increase in size and dry mass by an increase in the cell number or cell size. When any body, if there is increase in cell number or if there is increase in cell size, growth takes place. Which is growth? A permanent increase in size, a permanent increase in size of that body, or we can say a permanent increase in dry mass. By how can this increase in size occurs in a body? How can this dry mass increase in a body? By the increase in cell number, or we can say cell size. This from this figure you can know how growth takes place. This is an onion seedling. This grows at last. It reached the mature stage, or the flowering, we can say the flowering stage. We can define this growth is a process by which living organisms get bigger. This growth is a process by which living organisms get bigger, or cells increase in size, और ईच सेल बिकेम्स लार्ज, या हर एक सेल लार्ज बन जाती है, बड़ी बन जाती है, या सेल्स इंक्रीज इन साइज, इनका साइज बड़ा हो जाता है, और वी कैन से लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स गेट बिगर, लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स बड़े हो जाते हैं. सो वी फ्रॉम हियर वी कैन नो वन मोर डिफरेंस बिटवीन द living things and the non-living things. Living things grow and non-living things does not grow. Sensitivity, the ability to detect. This sensitivity is the ability to detect or sense changes in the environment stimuli. The ability to detect, this sensitivity, this is the ability to detect or sense. This is present only in living things and is not present in the non-living things. And to make a response. For stimuli to make a response. For stimuli to make a response. What is this stimuli? A reaction that a living organism does in response. A living organism does in response. A reaction, this stimuli, what is this? The stimuli is a reaction that a living organism does in response to a stimulus. Does in response to a stimulus. Stimulus, anything. Stimulus, that is anything that causes a response to react. Stimulus, it is an anything that causes a response to react. That causes a response to react. For example, if you touch a hot object, or we can say when we touch a hot object, we automatically pull our hand back. We automatically pull our hand back. This is when we pull our hand back, we respond to that stimuli. Stimuli is that when we touch the hot plate, whether it is suddenly, we automatically pull our hand back. That is stimulus to response. This sensitivity is only present. This sensitivity is only present in living things. This sensitivity is not present in non-living things. Nutrition. The process of taking food for energy is called nutrition. What is nutrition? This nutrition is the process of taking food for energy. Taking food, हम फूड टेक करते हैं किसके लिए? ताकि जो एनर्जी उस फूड में प्रेजेंट होगी वो हमें मिले. इस प्रोसेस को हम न्यूट्रिशन कहते हैं. Nutrition is of two types: autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition and heterotrophic nutrition. What is autotrophic nutrition? The mode of nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition is the mode of nutrition in which an organism synthesizes its own food. This autotrophic nutrition, it is a mode of nutrition in which an organism synthesizes its food by the help of sunlight, light energy, or we can say solar energy, is called autotrophic energy. What are plants? They prepare their own food in the presence of solar energy. Not only solar energy necessary, carbon dioxide that is also necessary for the plants, and water that is also necessary for the plants in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. This chlorophyll is a green pigment which is present in the green parts of the plants, and photosynthesis takes place. photosynthesis takes place and glucose is prepared in the plants. That glucose that is used plants by the plants for themselves, and some of that food is stored in the plants in the form of starch, so that the heterotrophs, that though heterotrophs, they cannot prepare their own food, they directly depend or they indirectly depend on those autotrophs or plants. For we know from here we know that by using solar energy the plants prepare their own food. The plants prepare their own food. Second is heterotrophic nutrition, the mode of nutrition in which an organism does not synthesize, its own food. That those organisms directly depend on autotrophs, whether directly or indirectly. They depend on autotrophs either directly or indirectly, depend on autotrophs, and this type of nutrition is known as heterotrophic nutrition. Dear students, heterotrophic nutrition is of three types: parasitic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, and holozoic nutrition. Parasitic nutrition, saprophytic nutrition, and holozoic nutrition. Both parasites, they cannot synthesize their own food. Saprophytes, they cannot synthesize their own food. Holozoic nutrition, they can. In the saprophytic or holozoic, they also cannot synthesize their own food. The organisms which are under the parasitic nutrition, or which have saprophytic nutrition, or which have holozoic nutrition, they cannot prepare their own food. Those organisms depend either directly or indirectly on the autotrophs, on the plants. What is parasitic nutrition? The mode of nutrition in which an organism feeds upon digested or semi-digested food. The mode of nutrition in which an organism feeds upon digested or semi-digested. Those organisms feeds upon digested or semi-digested food and depends on their hosts is called parasitic nutrition. As we know that lices, they are present on the body of the animals. The body of the animals is host for them, and the lice, that is a parasite. Lice gets its food from the host. Second is saprophytic nutrition. The saprophytic nutrition, the mode of nutrition in which an organism feeds upon dead and decaying food. It is the organism, they feeds upon dead and decaying food and digest outside the body is called saprophytic nutrition. As you know, fungi that grows on the dead and decaying matter. Those fungi that grow on the dead and decaying matter. Last is holozoic nutrition. This is the third type of heterotrophic nutrition. This mode of nutrition in which an organism feeds upon complex organic food and is called holozoic nutrition. As you know that we engulf a complex food particle, and that food particle breaks down into simpler food particles in our digestive system. From here, dear students, we know that this nutrition that is present only in the living beings, or we can say living things, this is not the characteristic of the non-living things. So today we have discussed about some more characteristics from which we can differentiate between the living things and the non-living things. First, nutrition, that is a characteristic of living thing and that is not the characteristic of non-living thing. Second, response to stimuli, that is a characteristic of living thing and that is not the characteristic of non-living thing. Growth, that is a characteristic of living thing, that is not the characteristic of non-living thing. And reproduction, that is also a characteristic of living thing, that is not the characteristic of non-living thing. And last, excretion, that is characteristic of living thing, it is not the characteristic of non-living